It's a pack for me TUI holiday.
Heroic comeback against Real Madrid in the quarters. Here they go against a team who have won the Women's Champions League more than any other club. Lyon, the 8 times winners, are here at the Emirates, and we are off and underway. The first leg of the semi-final begins. Live on TalkSport 2. And Arsenal with easy possession in the very early stages. Steph Catley, the left-sided centre-half, towards the halfway line, and a good angled ball out to the left, and Katie McCabe who jinks in field. Arsenal made a blistering start against Real Madrid in that comeback second leg win over Real Madrid in the quarters, though it wasn't until after half-time that the goals began to flow. You would expect Lyon to be much sterner opposition here today. In fact, Lyon have only lost once all season. I mentioned it was in a penalty shootout in the last 32 of the French Cup, so yet to lose in 90 minutes under Joe Montemuro. Early ball in from the left by McCabe. Freedom on the edge of the penalty area with a low shot, and that's easily gathered by the goalkeeper, Christian Endler.
Yeah, good start there from Arsenal. As McCabe getting high out on that left-hand side. Van Marnham just on the edge of the box, floating in that space. That's where she normally operates, in those pocket areas. Got the first shot up.
Arsenal playing from left to right in the first half in the familiar red and white towards the clock end, and Lyon playing all in black with red trim from right to left towards the north bank of the Emirates Stadium. The sun is shining. A late challenge in the middle of midfield by Arsenal as Lyon regain possession and work it wide to Chavinga on the halfway line. Infield pass towards Lindsay Heaps. The American is a poor one, and she's had it whipped off her toes by Frida Mornham, and Arsenal have the ball back. Liverpool lead at Brighton in the WSL this lunchtime. A very early goal for Liverpool's Olivia Smith. Brighton 0, Liverpool 1. West Ham 0, Manchester United 0 in the earlier kick-off in the WSL. That got underway at midday. 0-0 here, Arsenal against Lyon. First leg of the semi-final of the Champions League, and another collect by Lyon goalkeeper Endler, all in sky blue, away to the right-hand side. But it's Arsenal who look a little brighter in the early stages, Jenna Scalacci.
Yeah, absolutely starting well, enjoying the possession. That's twice now they've gotten a position. Caitlin Ford this time out on that left-hand side, operating well. Just a loose pass in the end, but yeah, they've certainly started off well and enjoying most of the ball and possession early on.
Does look to be quite a gusty wind at pitch level, at least. We're not really picking it up at the back of the lower tier of the main stand here. Both lower tiers are full and the upper tier is busy as well. A crowd of around 40,000 expected today. Renee Slagers standing on the edge of a technical area. The Arsenal boss, very much a top-tier head coach already, it feels like, in European competition. It'll be even more than that for her if she can lead Arsenal to their first Champions League final since the year they won it, 2007. Foul by Little in midfield on the retreating Melky Dumornay, and that's a free kick to Lyon just prior to the centre circle, and the boos for the referee Ionela Alina Peshu as she gives the free kick to the visitors.
Yeah, I think Kim Little there just pleading with the referee. She's done so well just to protect the ball. I think she feels that she was dragged to the floor. I think I might agree with Kim Little there.
Kim Little, who was so outstanding, the Arsenal captain, the veteran, against Real Madrid here in the second leg, and an incredible run of results for Arsenal, of course, in the men's competition and in the women's competition in the Champions League. That's the focus for both teams this season, although it is worth saying Arsenal are only 3 points off the WSL leaders Chelsea, albeit Chelsea do have a game in hand. Chelsea at Barcelona tomorrow, live on TalkSport 2. That's a 5 o'clock kickoff in the first leg of the other semi-final. Lyon come forward with Dumornay, the number 6. She's held it up well, poked it wide to the right-hand side. The former Arsenal player Danielle van der Donk sets up Diani on the overlap with a right-wing cross, and that's cut out by Catley at the near post. Arsenal defend it relatively well and win themselves a free kick for a foul on Katie McCabe. 0-0.
Yeah, first glimpse there of that attacking threat that this team posed. It was Diani out on the right-hand side, just whizzed the ball in to the 6-yard area. Was defended well. The move actually started from Dumornay. She likes to drop deep into the pockets to start the move. Receives the ball. It's a beautiful touch out wide to find her fellow attacker Diana.
It says quite a lot, doesn't it, that Lyon can afford to have the likes of Ada Hegerberg, the former Ballon d'Or winner, on the bench, and Wendy Renard and Eugénie Le Sommer as well, So much experience in the team as Diani raids down the right-hand side, the far side again, clips in the cross towards the back post. Emily Fox halfway on the volley, then sliced over her shoulder by Caldente out of play, and that's a LYON throw in the right wing area, Jenna.
Yeah, I think that's the second time now Damane has just dropped into that pocket. The back line of Arsenal, Williamson and Catley, they don't know whether to come with her. Neither have gone with her. She's then received the ball again back to goal to play Diani out on the right hand side. There's a second time, just something that Arsenal need to be aware of.
Selma Basha shoots from long range, pushed up by Zinsberger. Van der Donk has knocked the rebound into the side netting. Against her old team, it's a glorious opportunity for Danielle Van der Donk. Goalkeeper Zinsberger didn't really deal with the initial long-range shot, and Van der Donk 6 yards out, nobody around her, into the side netting. I can tell you the LYON bench thought it was in. They were out of their seats in celebration, but fortunately for Arsenal and for Zinsberger, the ball ripples into the side netting, and it stays Arsenal 0, LYON 0.
Van der Donk has got to score it there. She's on her own. I don't think she realised how much time she's got. Zinsberger gets out early to close down that angle, but a player of that quality has got to do better there.
It wasn't convincing goalkeeping from Arsenal's, well, number one on the back of her shirt, but very much not the number one these days. Daphne van Domselaar, of course, is out injured. 0-0 it remains in the first leg of the semi-final on TalkSport 2. And of course we've got Premier League commentary at 3 o'clock, Brentford against Brighton, and all the goals as they go in over on TalkSport from the Premier League with Game Day Live, Adrian Durham leading the team. Make sure you download our app to be across everything. You can swipe between both stations at your leisure. Plenty of live football on Easter Monday as well. I'll tell you about that a little later on. Foul by Alessia Russo on the retreating defender Vanessa Gilles, and that's a free kick to LYON, about level actually with their own dead ball line. Disbelief all around the stadium as Van der Donk couldn't convert that chance, Jenna.
I mean, she's a player of that quality has got to be doing better in that area. It's a real chance early on to put Arsenal on the back foot. It was Bakker found the space. The shot was from distance. Shouldn't really have called Zinsberger that much of an issue.
Dumornay looking to tear through the middle for LYON. She sprayed the ball wide to Chavinga. Controls left-hand edge of the penalty area, taking on Fox. Back to Dumornay. Little shuffle onto her right foot and dinks in the delivery, and it's overhit and behind. But already you can see the influence of Melky Dumornay. 4 goals in her last 5 appearances in the Champions League, and you and I were here, Jenna, for the second leg of the quarter-final against Real Madrid. You already get a sense, don't you, that for Arsenal this semi-final tie, LYON, with such a great record in this competition, are going to be a big step up.
Yeah, absolutely, especially across that front line. Damane already showing glimpses of the quality that she has and the danger she poses.
Caldente carrying the ball forward down the Arsenal left, the far side, and now Ford is taking on Carpenter. Low ball into the near post. It'll be tucked away and out of danger by Vanessa Gilles. That was the 2 Australians going head-to-head, Ford and Ellie Carpenter.
Yeah, and they'll know a lot about each other's games, their strengths, their weaknesses. So far, I think Ford's coming out on top of that battle there. She's so good with the ball at her feet. They're just driving at the defenders.
Arsenal throw on the far side, level with the edge of the penalty area. Goalless after 8 minutes of the first leg here on TalkSport 2. The Women's Champions League semi-final. McCabe with the throw down the left-hand touchline. It'll be cleared away by Gilles. Comes back to McCabe, but now Mornham in the area with a deflected shot. That'll spiral behind, and the referee does signal that it is a corner to Arsenal at the clock end. First corner of the game so far.
Yeah, and Arsenal's best play so far is all coming through that left-hand channel, isn't it? Mornham again there in that pocket, picking up the space, got the shot off. I think Endler went down just to make sure she'd covered the front post.
40,000 here at the Emirates today. There are a smattering of Lille fans over in the southeast corner of the ground. There are about 50 maybe in the white shirts. LYON all in black today, their change kit. McCabe is going to take the corner, left-footed and out-swinging. Arsenal so prolific in front of goal under Renee Slagers. 0-0, drilled in by McCabe. That's a poor delivery and cleared away by the former Arsenal midfielder Van der Donk. Arsenal go back to Zinsberger, all in bright yellow and all alone in the sunshine on the far side of the field. That half to the left is completely sun-drenched, and the only portion of the pitch that doesn't have sun on it is the LYON goalmouth to our right-hand side. The ball is with Arsenal, and Little, the captain on the halfway line, threads it Wide left to McCabe, quickly forward down that far side touchline towards Ford. Was there a foul by Gilles? 50-50 challenge, referee says no. Arsenal fans out of their seats to protest, but play continues.
Yeah, I think Gilles did really well there, just using her strength to body Ford off.
Gilles gets the ball back from goalkeeper Endler. Arsenal trying to press Lyon very high, but the French side are used to that. They are top of their domestic league and unbeaten so far, as McCabe and Ford combined to try and win it back in the Arsenal left wing position. Ford did initially, but then in sliding to poke it back towards McCabe, overhit the pass, and it's out of play for a Lyon throw in their right back area. The second leg is next Sunday. Arsenal have got to make sure that they're in the tie, and that will be tough against a Lyon team who are unbeaten away from home all season in all competitions. Fox raiding down the near side, the right for Arsenal. Green boots on. The number 2 back to Beth Mead, just inside Lyon territory. They score so many, Jenna, don't they, Arsenal, that you'd bank on them to score today.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually here now you're getting your first glimpse down this right-hand side with Fox on the ball, driving forward. They're in no rush now. It's important. I think these touches for Zinsberger as well after that start is maybe good for her, just to try and get that confidence, build her confidence in. Leah Williamson getting her involved there.
Renee Slagers has suggested there is a chance Van Domselaar returns for the second leg next week. Ford for Arsenal, infield from the left. It's a right-footed reverse ball into the area, and it's headed away by Gilles. Drops down to Little, who actually miscontrolled that but got away with it midway inside Lyon territory. Now Mead, 10 yards from the dead ball line. Lovely reverse ball infield to Fox, who just misjudged it. Heavy touch that allowed Heaps to intercept. The American plays it back to the France international Selma Basha. Long high ball downfield, well controlled by Dumournet, and immediately here come Lyon on the transition with Van der Donk hitting the ball up the inside left. It hit the back of Chavinga, and that allows Leah Williamson to regain possession, and Arsenal can come forward again.
Yeah, I think Leah Williamson breathed a sigh of relief there. It looked like she was about to be in a foot race with Chavinga there, and that's what Danielle Van Donk will do. Head up. Can she find the attacking players early? That's the quick transition that they're so effective with.
Well, it's 0-0, but it's been a lively first 12 minutes of the Women's Champions League semi-final first leg. Arsenal 0, Lyon 0. Arsenal, a reminder, the only English club to win the Women's Champions League, or the UEFA Cup as it was back in 2007, winning a two-legged final. And that year, Arsenal won the quadruple, which is, of course, what Chelsea are aiming to do this season. Chelsea face Barcelona in the other semi-final, the first leg of which Jenna and I will bring you commentary of tomorrow on TalkSport 2. Wouldn't an English Champions League final be remarkable? It will take place, whoever's involved, in Lisbon on the 24th of May. Basha, infield from the near side to left for Lyon to Heaps, very experienced American international on the halfway line. Then an overhit pass by Damaris Egarola, who scored in the league at the weekend, and that's out of play for an Arsenal goal kick. Yeah,
I think in the early stages it looks like Arsenal are winning that midfield battle. I think Kim Little, Caldente and then Marnham dropping back in out of possession. They're dispossessing any possession that Lyon get in that midfield area, which is key, I think, as this game continues.
Well, Leah Williamson is going to take the goal kick short to Zinsberger, which gives Arsenal a little bit more in terms of options from playing the ball out of the defensive third. Caldente, middle of her own half, is dispossessed by Van der Donk, but at the expense of a foul. And it's a free kick to Arsenal midway inside their own half of the field. Arsenal cannot afford to make individual mistakes against opposition of this quality.
No, absolutely not. I think when you've got a starting three like Lyon have, you've got a limit. You've got to almost be faultless across that back line, and to do that for the 90 minutes it is a very difficult task. But you know, these are top players. They're used to these pressures, so like you say, you wouldn't want it to fall down to an individual error.
Forward by Williamson, high down the middle, little glancing touch by Ford to find Rousseau. Her first real involvement, good lay off to McCabe with an early ball in from the inside left, and it's steered away high upfield by Sombat, up into that bright blue sky, and then a risky back pass by Caldente. Williamson just gets there in front of Dumournet to hack it into touch, but Arsenal have got to be so careful when faced with the press of that sprightly Lyon front three. 0-0.
Yeah, it was Caldente, the ball wouldn't drop soon enough for her, and she had Diani breathing down her neck, putting the pressure on, and resulted in a loose pass. But that's what you can do when you're putting pressure on these players. It's relentless. That's an example of, you know, the mistakes that can be posed by the press from Lyon.
Good work by Little, though, to win it back quickly off Van der Donk. As those two go head-to-head in the middle of midfield, Joe Montemuro standing on the edge of his technical area in the dark suit, the Lyon head coach, the last Arsenal boss to win the WSL in 2018-2019, also won the League Cup, and knows Renee Slagers very well. They worked on the UEFA coach mentor programme together for a couple of years, and lots of warm words exchanged between the two in the pre-match press conferences. Arsenal come forward with Ford, and ball really thundered into the feet of Mornham, who couldn't control it, bounced off her right boot. Mornham wearing the gloves today, out of play and away for a goal kick to Lyon, away to the right-hand side. You'd call it even, would you? Jenna Schillaci, former Tottenham captain, the first 15 minutes?
Yeah, I'd say. I think Arsenal started off with a lot more of the possession on the front foot, created 2 early opportunities, but I think, yeah, this Lyon team have grown in, so even's fair, I'd say.
Just that one serious effort on goal. Big chance for Van der Donk after Basha's effort was parried, but she couldn't convert from close range. Carpenter over the halfway line, sets up Diani, big gap at the back to race into, right hand edge to the penalty area. Diani with a low shot, finds the corner, and Lyon are in front, but the flag is up. And so the celebrations will be cut short. VAR will certainly check it. There was a big gap in the Arsenal left-back position that Diani thoroughly exploited there, and her finish was unerring from inside the box. She can't believe it, but at the moment it is still 0-0. The VAR will be looking at it.
Yeah, I think that's the danger. The way this Arsenal team play, looks like she's offside there, just watching it back. But when Katie McCabe gets high, that's the danger. The space is there for Diani to exploit. And you've seen there, just a touch, head up, and she slots it home perfectly into the bottom corner. It's a let off there for Arsenal.
VAR is still checking. The initial on-field decision was that Diani was in an offside position, but the referee signals that the goal is given. Diani was onside, and Lyon do lead in the first leg of the semi-final by a 0-0. I think it was Emily Fox who might have played Diani onside, and she raced clear to tuck it beyond Zinsberger, and Arsenal already have it all to do. The goal is given, and it is Arsenal 0, Lyon 1.
That's what we spoke about earlier on. Arsenal getting that balance right when they are putting bodies forward, and just being aware to that threat that this Lyon team posed on the counter. And there, it was Katie McCabe who was out of position, leaving that space open. Backline hadn't recovered round. And it's tight, yes, Emily Fox is trying to step up, not quick enough, and then Diani does all the hard work, gets her head up and drives it low into the opposite corner.
And so Arsenal, who have won all 7 home games in Europe this season, concede at home in Europe for just the 4th time this campaign, and they are 1-0 down to Lyon. A long way to go in the semi-final first leg, but Arsenal will have to get on the comeback trail again. They have won a corner straight from kickoff. Chavinga knocking it out of play under pressure from Emily Fox, who, well, whether you can say was at fault for that goal is maybe another question, because Arsenal defensively on the left-hand side were missing in action, but it was Fox who inadvertently played Diani onside.
Yeah, and it's difficult because as Arsenal, you don't want to change your style of play, but you've got to be aware of that threat that's posed, and leaving gaps in either wing is going to cause you problems with the quality of attacking players Lyon have.
So corner to Arsenal as they look to respond immediately. At the clock end, which is packed with home supporters in red and white, Katie McCabe is going to take it from the near side, the Arsenal right. So left-footed and in-swinging. Whipped in into the 6-yard box, headed away by Heaps, got the first contact. Rousseau bundled over, left-hand edge of the penalty area, looks to the referee. Nothing given on the field. Arsenal nearly win it back down by the goal line. It'll be smuggled away by Dumornay and cleared further by the goal scorer Diani up to the halfway line.
Well, Rousseau was sandwiched there in between 2 Lyon defenders, all 3 challenging for the ball.
You do wonder, is there any interest from VAR in checking that again? It was close to the left edge of the penalty area, but we're not getting any information that any sort of check is taking place. Arsenal 0, Lyon 1 on TalkSport 2. First leg of the semi-final of the Women's Champions League. West Ham 0, Manchester United 0 is a half-time score in the WSL. A United win today would take them level on points with Arsenal, but West Ham are a tough team to beat these days. Diani raiding down the right-hand side again, and she's isolated Catley in a one-on-one. Looks to set up Dumornay with the inside right run, and good covering by Fox to shepherd it back to Zinsberg.
Yeah, Fox had to make that. Katie McKay was still out of position from taking the corner, so that gap was out on that right-hand side for Lyon to exploit, but Fox read the danger. Recovered well with her run.
Lyon lead 1-0. And what's the referee done here? She's dropped something. And she's picked it back up again. Not sure if that was a card or the whistle. Anyway, Lyon will have the throw. Led with the edge of the penalty area, far side the right. And the Emirates is quiet now. Big crowd in, but Arsenal 1-0 down. Long throw by Carpenter, well controlled by Dumornay with her back to goal. And she spins, turns and wins a corner.
Oh, that's a beautiful touch from Dumornay. Cushioned it with the laces. Posing a real handful in that box for Arsenal defensive unit.
And are these already dangerous moments in the tie for Arsenal, Jenna? Even this early in the semi-final.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they can't afford to concede. The next goal has to be Arsenal's to stay in this. They've got to concentrate now for this set piece.
Lyon, of course, will host the second leg next Sunday. Selma Basha to take the corner. Arsenal have brought everybody back. It's at the north bank away to the left-hand side, this corner. And Basha will deliver left-footed and in-swinging. The referee spotted some kind of infringement. I think she's talking to Little and Diani at the back post. Everything is sorted now. 21.5 minutes have been played. Arsenal with more defending to do. Basha has just placed the ball again. She has got the option of Dumornay short, but she's going to fizz it in high left-footed to the back post. Climbing is Gilles, and it's headed from off the line by Little. Bounces to the edge of the penalty area. Arsenal still struggling to clear away fully. Heaps has got to it for Lyon. Holds it up down by the dead ball line. She's taking on Fox in a one-on-one. She's going to go backwards, I think, here to Carpenter. She does. Left wing position, led with the edge of the penalty area. Carpenter goes on the outside of Russo, then tries to jink back onto the right foot. Russo gets an important touch, and the throw eventually goes Arsenal's way, but they were nearly 2-0 down.
Well, it was Kim Little there, in the right place at the right time. Almost on the line, headed it clear, doing her defensive duties for the team, and Russo there as well, dropping deep to help her team out and win the throw.
Well, Arsenal have been under threat. They could already be 3-0 down midway through the first half of the first leg. 1-0 to Lyon it is. Arsenal now come forward on the far side. Here goes Katie McKay from the left. Early ball threaded down the far side touchline. Ford is onto it in the area. Chips it back across towards Mead at the back post. That's a brilliant header by Damaris Egarola to flick it away from Mead, who was charging onto that on the corner of the 6-yard box. Otherwise it could have been 1-1.
Yeah, really important touch there. Beth Mead was waiting to get the shot off, but excellent work from Caitlin Ford again down the left-hand side. Russo had made the run in. I think Russo wanted the ball on the floor, but Caitlin Ford spotted Mead at the back post, and a vital touch from the Lyon defender.
Mead lurking but couldn't quite get there. And Lyon clear with Egarola, the Dutch woman again, up to the halfway line. Good interception by Williamson in front of Diani to poke it back to Catley. Arsenal know they're very much in a tie now. 1-0 down, midway through the first half. Live on TalkSport 2. Brentford against Brighton. Big game in the race for Europe is live from the Premier League with us at 3 o'clock. Oh, bad back pass by Caldente. Good starting position from Zinsberger. Had to hurriedly scoop that clear. Lyon win it back in the centre circle, and it feels like a nervy display at the moment from Arsenal, Jenna.
Yeah, it does. And the front three of Lyon, I'm just watching them now. They've just all changed positions. So we've now got Dumornay out on the left-hand side. Diani's gone as the number 9. And Chawinga, who we haven't actually seen much of yet, has gone out onto that right-hand side. So very fluid in their movement and working. All players can work across the line, posing different threats again.
Renee Slager's actually out of a technical area there to have words with the fourth official after a foul given against Frida Mornham. Lyon have possession, and they go back to goalkeeper Endler, who's had really nothing to do in the game so far. But a long way still to go in the tie, and of course Arsenal will also be mindful of that. You cannot try and force an equaliser in the first leg for the sake of it and potentially leave gaps and concede further goals.
Yeah, especially with a team like Lyon who transitions so quick. I think for Arsenal, they've just got to stay patient and focused.
Shavinga wins it ahead of McCabe with a high boot, it looked like. She sets Diani away down the right-hand side anyway. Right corner of the penalty area, driving towards the dead ball line. Can she steer it back across? She does. And Dumornay was at the back post, beaten in the air by Fox. Crucial intervention, it's another Lyon corner.
Fox done so well there. Dumornay was waiting, making the run to the back post. Fox has just got in front of her at the right time, but Diani again, excellent work out on that right-hand side. How she got the cross off, I'm not sure. I think she had 3 Arsenal defenders around her and still managed to get her head up and pick the cross at the back post.
Well, Arsenal here really are being tormented by the Lyon front three. Lyon, who have lost 2 of their last 4 games against English clubs. They were beaten by Arsenal in Lyon in 22-23. But they're 1-0 up here in the first leg of the semi-final. Corner's taken short to Dumornay, who's blocked off by Beth Mead. And Arsenal need to find another level from somewhere, and quickly. 1-0 down, or else the first leg could start to really slip away from them.
Yeah, I think they need to. There's always going to be stages in games like this where you're going to have to suffer from again, and they're right in the minute. They need the atmosphere, the crowd to come a bit quiet, the crowd to get behind them.
Very quiet at Emirates Stadium. You can almost hear the shadow players out on the field. They play over. Lyon have it again with Diani kicking down that right-hand side, playing the ball backwards to Gilles, the Canadian, just inside Arsenal territory. Gilles, who's had a header cleared off the line. Good ball down the middle to the feet of Dumornay with her back to goal. Turns into a central area, edge of the D, low shot left-footed, and it had Zinsberger scrambling, and the ball rolls just beyond the left-hand post. But yet another threat at the Arsenal goal, this time provided by Milky Dumornay.
Yeah, I think Arsenal need to try and stop this threat, the ball getting into Dumornay to start with, because she received the ball first, she dropped into her pocket, played it back. She had 5 Arsenal players around her, and then moved again to receive the ball again with not one Arsenal player following her run to stop her receiving.
Foul by Basher on Mead, hauling her to ground. That has some of the Arsenal fans out of their seats in front of us here. Some calling for a yellow card. We're sat in very close quarters to the Arsenal fans, and actually right behind the Lyon dugout, which is about 20-25 rows of seats in front of us. Joe Montemuro against his old club, pacing around his technical area. Arsenal free kick on the halfway line, and Joe Montemuro will be delighted with the Lyon team so far. Perhaps his only complaint is that they haven't scored more than just a 1.
Yeah, they definitely have had the chances.
Mead's offside.
Definitely created a lot of chances, haven't they, this Lyon team? Time and time again, Diani down that right-hand side, causing threats. The chance early on, Danielle van der Donk, she's got to do better in that moment.
Jenna Schillaci is here with us for commentary, former Tottenham captain here at the Emirates, and Chelsea in the other semi-final, Jenna. But it's a reminder, isn't it, the performance that Lyon have put in so far, and no doubt Barcelona tomorrow, that the stakes are so high for the English clubs, and the idea of an all-English Champions League final is an exciting one, but it's going to be very tough.
Absolutely, and this Lyon team look like they're growing with every minute of this game. Quality all over the pitch. They definitely look the better of the two, and a lot more physical out there, winning those physical battles so far in this first half.
Lyon-Barcelona was last year's final. Barcelona, the holders, having won that 2-0. Lisbon, the final on the 24th of May. Forward by Leah Williamson for Arsenal. It's deflected off Rousseau, who hasn't really had the ball facing the goal at all in the game so far. Lyon give it away. Beth Mead raining down the right-hand side. Can she whip the cross in? She's taking on the defender, Basher. Blocked off, but Arsenal have it back. Little crosses in towards Rousseau, headed away by Gilles, who's been excellent so far. 1-0 to Lyon. Ford's reverse ball, right-footed, deep to the back post, back across by Mead. Oh, and what a miss by Mornham! Knotting it wide from inside the 6-yard box. And maybe it was Rousseau who got the final touch in a crowded 6-yard area. And in fact, it's Caitlin Ford who should score. No, it is Mornham after all, and it stays 1-0 to Lyon, but Frida Mornham with easily Arsenal's best chance of the game so far.
She found herself at the back post. Mead did so well, she got so much power on it from one side of the 6-yard box and nod it across, and Mornham just almost nods it into the ground. I don't think she realises that Russo's behind her, who may have been in a better position to knock it home. No communication there between Russo and Marnham, but Marnham's got to do better there.
Yes, my first instinct was correct. It was Marnham. As Renee Slagers takes copious notes from her seat now in the dugout, but that's got the Arsenal fans going, and the red and white scarves are being waved high above the heads of the Arsenal fans, but they need a little more noise, maybe, the Arsenal players. Half an hour into the semi-final, 1-0 down to this excellent Lyon team. Frida Marnham should score it in these situations. You have to score, Jenna.
Yeah, I was just going to say, against opponents like this, in these kind of games where it's the small details, you've got to take those chances, and that clinical edge that we spoke about that Arsenal have gained under Renee Slagers. It's in those moments that you need to see it, because against Lyon teams like this, who defensively are excellent, those chances aren't going to come round thick and fast.
The live football will continue across the Easter weekend. Easter Monday, some massive games. Tottenham against Nottingham Forest in the Premier League, Leeds against Stoke in the Championship, followed by Burnley against Sheffield United, in a day where the Championship promotion race could be decided. Just download the TalkSport app to be across it all. Here come Lyon on the far side with Lindsay Heaps, right wing position. Back now to Ellie Carpenter, and Egarola midway inside the Arsenal half, turns the ball back to the halfway line, and Gilles with the white boots on. Square pass to Sombat, her central defensive colleague, and Lyon have looked, aside from that Marnham chance, rock solid defensively so far. They have the 1-0 advantage away from home. Of course, away goals no longer count double in the Champions League, but it's a Lyon team that has such a formidable record at home and away. Back they go to Endler, the goalkeeper. They did drop points for just the second time in the league this season at home against Paris FC last weekend. Had a little more rest time than Arsenal in the build-up to this first leg. Endler clatters the ball clear left-footed. Excellent pass from the goalkeeper. Up to the halfway line, and Carpenter plucks it out of the air and drives forward. She's run 30 yards to the edge of the penalty area. Carpenter, right-footed shot, blocked. What a ball by the goalkeeper. What a run by Carpenter. And she set her sights on making it 2-0.
Unbelievable from Carpenter there. She just cushioned it into her path and just drove through the heart of Arsenal midfield.
Tiani now scampering infield from the right, and an early ball into the near post is gathered by Zinsberger.
I think just looking back at that Carpenter chance, Arsenal defenders were just backing off. The space was opening up for Ellie Carpenter. At some point, someone's got to engage and stop Ellie Carpenter driving or allowing her to get that shot off.
It feels like there are such potent threats for Lyon all over the field of play. It's a Lyon team with great balance and great quality, really, from 1 to 11. Arsenal 0, Lyon 1. We're in the 33rd minute of the first leg of the Women's Champions League semi-final, and Beth Mead has given the ball away on the halfway line, and Dumornay's gone for goal to try and chip Zinsberger, and she's hit the bar! What an effort from range by Dumornay! And then Catley was slow to react. They've won it back. Diani inside the penalty area. Dinks in the cross, right-footed. Hit it away by Williamson. Arsenal were all at sea there, but what an effort from Melky Dumornay. Denied a wonder goal by the woodwork.
What a player she is. Great vision to see. Zinsberger off of her line. Fantastic player. And then Catley just caught in no man's land again with Chinwanga breathing down her neck. I think she needs a shout there from Zinsberger. I don't know if there's any communication across that back line. Someone taking ownership, taking some lead back there. I think Zinsberger's maybe a little bit rattled from the start, but she needs to be talking to the defenders.
Oh, what a magnificent effort it was from Dumornay. After Arsenal initially gave the ball away, I mean, she must have been 40 yards out, and Zinsberger retreating was never going to get there.
Oh, it was close, wasn't it? Fantastic, great technique, and just crashes off of the crossbar. Fantastic vision from the young player.
Well, Arsenal have been realistically distinctly second best so far. A reminder, a long way still to go in the tie, but Arsenal hanging on a bit. Fox forward for Arsenal with a poor ball, and that's poked straight through to the goalkeeper Endler.
Yeah, just frustration there from Fox. She thought Marnham was going to run into the half space behind the defender. Marnham wanted it at her feet. Not on the right pages there, Arsenal, but better from them.
West Ham 0, Manchester United 0 at half-time in the WSL. Liverpool lead at Brighton by a goal to 0 in the 12:30 kick-off in the WSL. thanks to Olivia Smith. And Arsenal 0, Lyon 1 here on TalkSport 2 in our first live commentary of the day. Brentford Brighton to come later. On the halfway line is Williamson for Arsenal. 10.5 minutes of the first half remaining, plus any added time. Mead chips the ball into the penalty area and it's overhit towards Alessia Russo and gathered by Endler.
Yeah, just that last bit of quality for Arsenal, not coming off at the minute. Players are just on different pages. Russo there just trying to get in behind the defender. But the defender, I think it was Gilles there, did really well, just bodying Russo, stopping the run.
Belted long by Endler for Lyon, no foul by Fox on Dumornay, who looks the best player on the pitch so far. Russo's held it up nicely for Arsenal, lays it back to Beth Mead, smuggled away by Basha for Lyon. We hope that Russo and Mead can combine effectively over the course of the Euros this summer. Every England game live on the TalkSport network from Switzerland. Katie McCabe raiding down the Arsenal left, cuts it back to Ford, left edge of the penalty area, onto the right foot, held up by Carpenter, thought about the shot, has to go backwards. Mornham now raiding down the left with a deflected cross. Good football by Arsenal, and it does win them a corner, 1-0 down.
Yeah, much better from Arsenal there, and again it's come through that left-hand channel. Caitlin Ford doing really, really well just to hold on to the ball, recycle play. Mornham just getting the cross off, and an opportunity here now just to relieve some pressure. A corner kick, can they make something of it?
Arsenal, Hearts 1, Aberdeen 1 in the Scottish Cup semi-final. They can't play on all fronts. That's the latest score in that semi-final. Arsenal take the corner short. Mead then whips the ball in high, right-footed to the back post. Steph Catley is climbing the number 7. It's going to take a touch off her head and drift behind for a goal kick to Lyon, who still lead 1-0, and Christiane Endler, the Chilean goalkeeper, has not had a serious save to make.
She hasn't, and that's the second corner that Arsenal have been wasteful with, really. First one, it was Katie McCabe, a low corner into the first player. And this one, Arsenal had set up for the ball to be delivered into the 6-yard box, and it's delivered way outside. They've got to be better in those moments. They've real opportunities to put some pressure onto this Lyon defensive line.
And Lyon have shown so far why they are one of, if not the best team in Europe, aiming to retain or regain their Champions League crown. Beaten, of course, by Barcelona in last season's final, but aiming to win the Champions League for the 9th time. 11th final came last season. Long ball downfield by Williamson, and only half away by Gilles, but she gets in front of Mornham at the second time of asking. Ball one in the middle of midfield by Van der Donk, and Egarola steers it wide left to Chawinga. Chawinga on the near side of the field, red boots on, lovely way to pass down the left-hand edge of the penalty area. Dumornay's beaten Williamson to it. Williamson gets an important tackle and she's hurt herself. Immediately Williamson goes down. Clutching, is that her left ankle? And that's concern for Arsenal and, of course, for England. Williamson poked out her left foot to make a challenge. What's gone on there, Jenna Schillaci?
Yeah, she's poked. I'm not sure whether Damani's got a touch on her ankle or it was the impact of the foot meeting the ground. She went in quite heavy, Williamson, when she contacted it. Hopefully she's okay. Looks like she's back up on her feet. Just watching it back now, she's gone in with a little toe back. I think it's just a painful one on the top of the laces from chewing. Yeah, it is. Just a stud on top of the foot, which isn't nice. She'll have a nice bruise on that tomorrow, but she's back up, which is pleasing to see.
And a shake of the hands with Dumornay as well, no harm intended. And that's a relief for Arsenal and for England.
Yeah, the fans held their breath there, didn't they, when she went down?
Arsenal 0, Lyon 1. We have 7 minutes plus added time remaining in the first half of the first leg. Barcelona-Chelsea underway tomorrow on TalkSport 2. Diani left corner of the penalty area, Heaps with an early pass towards Chawinga, who is coming back from an offside position. And so didn't make an effort to try and control the ball. It's a goal kick to Arsenal anyway, away at the left-hand side in front of the north bank. Now Catley for Arsenal. Finds the left-back Katie McCabe on the far side of the field. A big crowd in today, but not a lot for Arsenal fans to get excited about in the game so far. That one big chance for Frida Mornham aside. Arsenal come forward with Mornham in the centre circle. Good early ball to the right, and Mead, whose touch takes her infield just forward of the centre circle. Now Kim Little, the number 10, She's worked it wide on the angle to Fox with the right-footed pass. Fox infield to Mead. They try the 1-2. Fox will get to it. Can she put the cross in? Double deflection on that. Looked like a goal kick to me. Corner, says the referee.
Yeah, good work there from Mead and Fox, just combining, little give and go. And then Bakker did so well there, recovery run, and timed her block just right. But here's another opportunity now. It's got to be better than the first two corners from Arsenal now.
Just over 5 minutes left in the first half. Some Arsenal fans heading for the concourse areas ahead of the half-time whistle, but a big crowd here today of nearly 40,000 to cheer the team on. And corner taken short. McCabe to Mead. McCabe back on the outside, pokes the ball backwards under pressure to Little, who then dinks it over the top. Mead with a first-time cross, big deflection off Heaps. Goalkeeper can't stop that from going behind. Arsenal win their 5th corner. Still yet to test Christiane Endler.
Yeah, this is better though. They're moving this defensive line of Lyon. Mead again in the thick of it. Gone for the first time delivery into the box. Got the deflection in. Another opportunity.
1-0 down Arsenal in the first leg. 2 arms up into the air from McCabe. Here comes the delivery, high to the back post. Goalkeeper went for it, then elected to stay at home. Headed away in the end by Egarola. Loose ball has dropped down to Mariona Caldente. There's an Arsenal player down in the box. In the end, Arsenal win yet another corner. I think it's Leah Williamson who was caught square in the face by the challenge of Egarola. Arsenal will get another corner, and Williamson's back on her feet again.
Yeah, I think both players had eyes on the ball there. Damari just come off better, got the contact, the header.
Fully committed. And Williamson has taken a couple of blows in quick succession.
She's had a rough 5 minutes.
And she won't mind if Arsenal can get the equaliser from this set piece. Plenty forward in the penalty area. Caldente short to the edge of the box. Little too long to size up a shot. Fox might hit it from range. She does, and it's charged down, and now she's in a foot race with Heaps. She gets there first easily in the end. It looked for a moment like Lyon might break from Arsenal's corner. Arsenal had nobody back. It is retrieved easily in the end by Fox.
I just feel like the Arsenal set pieces are a bit too easy for Lyon to defend. They're not really asking any questions of the back line with them. They opted to go short again, and it gave Lyon a chance to step up, and then they lose possession.
Good whip pass by Ford from left to right, just too much on it for Mead to collect down by the dead ball line, and it's a goal kick. They've only failed to score 3 times under Renee Slagers, 3 times in 27 matches. 80 goals Arsenal have scored under their Dutch head coach, so they'll retain hope, but it feels like at the moment, Jenna Scalacci, as we tick towards half-time, they need to do more all over the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these last 3-4 minutes are key now to keep it at this score. Can they nick one from half-time?
Ball's been nodded down the middle by Mead towards Ford. Defender Gilles just got something on it. Ford has held it up brilliantly with her back to goal and then slides in firm. Well, I thought she got the ball to poke it away from Heaps and into the path of Mead. And I wonder whether Heaps has really managed to convince the referee there. Egarola's gone down meanwhile for Lyon off the ball in a clash of heads, so the game would have been stopped anyway.
I think Ford will feel hard done by that. She's initially done so well, showing her strength again, just to hold up the play, wait for her teammates to join her, and Heaps come powering through, maybe using her experience. Big time player Heaps, she knows exactly what she's doing, playing for the foul.
She knew the tackle was coming, didn't
Absolutely.
she? So went down. Ford got to the ball right in front of the assistant referee, but it will be a Lyon free kick with just over 90 seconds of the first half to go. Foul by Diani on Fox, and there's a physicality to the Lyon approach which accompanies some of the quality that they've produced.
Yeah, and I think it's Arsenal have to wise up to that, start showing that physical side that they pose as well. Because at the minute Lyon are winning most challenges.
In the WSL this lunchtime, Leanne Kiernan has scored a second goal for Liverpool at Brighton. Brighton 0, Liverpool 2. They kicked off at the same time as we did, and that takes Liverpool above Brighton in the race for 5th spot. Arsenal win a throw deep inside Lyon territory. Led with the edge of the penalty area as we go into the last minute of normal time at the end of the first half in the semi-final first leg. 1-0 to Lyon. Caldente, that's a good ball. Sliding in is Egarola with yet another important interception. It's going to bounce down by the dead ball line. That looked like a foul by Van der Donk. It was, and it's a free kick to Arsenal in a very dangerous area here. About 6, 7, 8 yards infield from the corner flag.
Yeah, really silly challenge there from Van der Donk on Beth Mead. Far too physical, and now this is a very dangerous area. Can Arsenal capitalise on this just before half-time?
And the fourth official is ready with the electronic board. We're about 20 seconds away from added time. Might be the last opportunity of what has been a difficult first half in the first leg for Arsenal. Arsenal 0, Lyon 1 in the Women's Champions League. Live on TalkSport 2, Brentford against Brighton in the Premier League to come at 3 o'clock. That's our second live commentary of the day. Arsenal fans trying to get behind their side. A minute of added time at the end of the first half, and Lyon have brought everybody back. Arsenal haven't been too confident in this game yet at putting the ball high into the penalty area. Lyon dominant in the air. Again, it's taken short. McCabe to chip the free kick in. Headed goalwards off the bar and smuggled away by Selma Basha. Now Arsenal want a penalty kick. Nothing given by the referee. VAR will check it. They thought there was a foul on McCabe. Lyon are going to try and break upfield, and they can't do it. Emily Fox has steered the ball out of play. Arsenal so close to an equaliser. Again from an aerial ball in. I think it was Rousseau with the initial header, and then no penalty given by the referee. I wonder whether VAR is checking it.
What a header that was. Just come crashing off the upside of the crossbar. It looked like it was looping in to the top corner, but much better from Arsenal on the corner.
And that is the half-time whistle. And boos at the end of the first half from the Arsenal fans, having gone so close moments earlier to getting themselves back on level terms. It was a looping header off the bar from Alessia Russo. The other chance that Arsenal had came much earlier in the first half. Frida Mornan with a header wide from a very presentable position, but she couldn't convert from 6 yards out. That aside, Lyon's half-time advantage given to them by Kadir Diatou Diani timed her run perfectly before steering the ball beyond Manuela Zinsberger, and Lyon will feel that they should have scored more. Daniel van der Donk at 0-0 missed a glorious chance. To put them in front. Vanessa
Champions League semi-final. Get yourself warm, get yourself a half-time brew. Jenna, I'll speak to you very shortly. A couple of WSL games going on as well. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff between West Ham and Manchester United, currently goalless at the moment. Liverpool, though, are 2 goals to the good against Brighton. That kicked off at 12:30. Olivia Smith's goal in the 2nd minute, and then Leanne Kiernan just before half-time, moving Liverpool as it stands into 5th in the WSL table, above Brighton. So you're up to date on everything. Half-time at the Emirates, Arsenal 0, Lyon 1, but it could have been more for the 8-time Champions League winners. We'll have second half commentary coming next, and look ahead to our exclusive 3 p.m. Premier League match as Brentford take on Brighton.
On DAB+, online, via the TalkSport app and on your smart speaker.
The Women's Champions League live
on TalkSport 2.
TalkSport 2 is your dynamic destination for all the...
The North Bank. Arsenal had two good headed chances in the first period, but Lyon equally could have scored many more than just the one they've managed so far. Offside flag up on the far side against Alessia Russo. It's a Lyon free kick. Arsenal with Zinsberger in goal, Fox, Williamson, Catley and McCabe, Little, Mornham and Caldente, Mead and Ford either side of Russo, who hit the bar in the first half. For Lyon, the goalkeeper is Endler. Carpenter, Gilles, Sombat and Basher very solid at the back so far. Heaps, Egarola and Van der Donk in midfield. Diani the goal scorer and Chawinga either side of Dumornay, who has been perhaps the game's outstanding player up front. To give you both sets of subs in just a moment. Lots of Arsenal fans making their way back to their seats. Our commentary position just to the right of the halfway line, close to the Lyon dugout. As Arsenal come forward down their left, they force a throw through Caitlin Ford, deep inside Lyon territory. Arsenal 0, Lyon 1. And Arsenal with a lot of work to do, Jenna Schillaci here.
Yeah, they do. I think it's so important that they stay calm though, and no panic across that back line. And just, you see here earlier on, recovering back. Just a bit of, I think, organisation across that back line. Someone taking the lead. I think that's lacked a bit in the first half, and a bit of control.
It does feel like they can't afford to go too behind in the tie. They came back from 2-0 down after the first leg against Real Madrid, but Lyon would be a totally different proposition. Egarola makes another finely timed challenge right in front of the Arsenal head coach Renee Slagers in that tracksuit top. Arsenal take the throw and go back quickly to Catley just inside her own half of the field. And Catley gets it back from Williamson. The Arsenal bench: Williams the goalkeeper, Velti, Kafaji, Kelly, Pelova, Naiswonga, Blackstenius, Ilestedt, Cooney Cross and Reed. We feel that if it does stay 1-0, it won't be too long before Renee Slagers does look at Chloe Kelly.
Yeah, we know the impact she can have out wide, driving at defenders, 1v1, and I think what we saw against Real Madrid in that second leg, those deliveries into the box were world class. Just on a plate for the forward players, Alessia Russo. So yeah, Chloe Kelly off the bench is a player who can create a huge impact.
Arsenal with the perfect record at home so far this season in the Women's Champions League, but they are up against a team with almost a perfect record in the entire competition over the course of their history. Lyon, 8 times the winners. Arsenal winning it just once 18 years ago. Throw to Arsenal in front of the home dugout, and they need to try and engage the crowd a bit more, you feel. 40,000 in. Arsenal 0, Lyon 1, 48 minutes gone on TalkSport 2, but it's been very flat so far in the sunshine. Maybe that has something to do with the kick-off time. It's an early kick-off, not one of those Champions League nights, but they need something here, Arsenal. They need a greater impetus and energy.
Yeah, I mean, you can almost sense the nervousness in the crowd, can't you? I think that first half Arsenal were under the cosh a lot. There wasn't much for the crowd to get behind. I think putting a player like Chloe Kelly on will hopefully liven up the crowd, but it's been difficult for Arsenal. You know, their strengths are playing forward on the counter, but at the minute They're not having a lot of the ball, and when they are getting it, they're almost limiting. It's almost playing with a little bit of fear, I fear. And it's no wonder given the front line and how much damage they've caused in the first half.
And here come Arsenal on the attack on the far side there, right, with Mead. She's been held up by Basha, has to steer the ball infield to Little, about 35 yards from goal, right of centre, and Lyon have got everybody back behind the ball as the sunshine gets even brighter here now in North London. Lovely day in the capital. We'll be heading out west for Brentford against Brighton later on TalkSport 2. Good ball in by Mead, deflected away by the defender Ali Sombat. And it's kept in play on the far side, the left by Chawinga, who's carried the ball forward towards her left-back area and has now played it forward to Heaps, just shy of the halfway line. Good work by Little to win it back. They are at least seeing more of the ball, Arsenal, as they seek an equaliser here.
They are, and they're moving it a lot quicker in that final third there. That was a good passage of play. It started with Caldente just spraying the ball out. The pace of the ball was a lot quicker, and, you know, it was forcing Lyon to make decisions.
Good ball by Mornham up the inside right. Rousseau chasing. Across came Gilles to send it back to goalkeeper Endler, all in bright blue. Had nothing to do so far, really, the Lyon goalkeeper and captain. 2 headers for Arsenal in the first half. Mornham wide and Rousseau off the bar. But they haven't tested Lyon's number 1. Williamson, midway inside Lyon territory, rather tentatively stepping forward, finds Mead, then gets the return ball. Leah Williamson trying to pull it back to Mornham, but got nothing behind it, swept away by Sombat upfield. Arsenal win the second ball and come forward again. Fox on the right-hand side, gets the dead ball line and wins Arsenal a corner in front of the North Bank, 1-0 down.
Yeah, a lot better here from Arsenal now in that final third. Moving the ball quickly. Good runs off the ball there. This time it was Fox getting high up the pitch, and Salma Bakar again with the sliding block.
Barcelona meet Chelsea in the other semi-final. First leg live tomorrow, 5 o'clock here on TalkSport 2. In hopes of an all-English Champions League final in Lisbon on the 24th of May. Arsenal have work to do here. 1-0 down in the first leg. Katie McCabe is going to take the corner. Arsenal fans on the feet behind the goal. High ball to the back post from McCabe is headed away. Egarola there yet again. Steered wide down the left-hand side to Catley by Fox. Back to Fox it goes. The American looks up. Time to deliver right-footed. It hit the back of Dumornay, then headed away. It'll drop down to the edge of the penalty area. Rousseau can't reach it. It has come back to the feet of Caldente. Mead with a clever touch to Mornham with an early shot. Could deflect to Ford. Out comes Endler. Rousseau! And it's cleared off the line by Gilles. Some of the Arsenal fans thought that had crossed the line, but the defender got back to clear it away, just with Endler beaten. One of Arsenal's brightest moments in the game, and now Lyon can counter. Down the near side, the right. Dumornay's beaten Caldente for pace. Low ball into the box, turned behind by Steph Catley. So nearly 1-1.
God, that was excellent. Best bit of play from Arsenal there. Endler with the fantastic save, got out early, made herself big to close down the shot. And then there were 3 Lyon defenders recovering around Endler to clear the ball. I think it was off the line. It was very, very close, but that by far has been the best bit of play from Arsenal so far.
Arsenal couldn't quite smuggle it home after some lovely enterprising football. Brave goalkeeping by Endler to deny Ford, and then cleared off the line, I think initially by Egarola and then by Gilles. But now Arsenal have got some defending to do at the other end from the corner. Very bright start to the second half for the home team. The wind really billowing that corner flag as it's taken short by Basha to Dumornay. And now Chawinga, edge of the D with a low shot. Poor effort, cleared away by Rousseau. Comes back to Basha to clip in a deflected cross, headed away by Leah Williamson. Chawinga nods it down, hooked over a shoulder by Van der Donk. It'll drop on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Rousseau had to be careful with the challenge. Diani's crossed it right-footed, sliced away, left-footed up into the air by Kim Little for Arsenal. Really does feel a sense of jeopardy in the semi-final tie already, even though it's only the first leg. Arsenal can break. Caldente over the top. Ford could be clear. Out comes Endler. Got there first, the goalkeeper. Brilliant goalkeeping from Lyon's number 1.
Yeah, she was alert. High up. Great starting position. Caldente. Fantastic pass.
Lyon are really stretched here. The Arsenal fans get to their feet. Mead's cross is such a poor one. Straight into the gloves of the goalkeeper after a brilliant ping cross-field on the diagonal by Kim Little to find her. She had acres of space. No quality on the delivery at all. Stays 1-0 to Lyon.
Mead, you expect better there. I don't even think that was the right decision. The back line were quite deep in their own half. She had space to travel in. Quality of the cross wasn't good enough, and a really comfortable save, but that was a counter that was on there, wasn't it? This is the first glimpse of Arsenal now and their strengths on the counter.
Much better from Arsenal. 9 minutes into the second half, and they're starting to pile real and genuine pressure on Lyon, who haven't really looked rattled at all in the game so far. As the ball is won back on the halfway line by the ever-tenacious Little, poking it back towards Catley. Had to beat Dumornay in a 50-50. Little's lost out again, and then she hacks down Heaps. That's surely going to be a yellow card. There were 2 fouls there, I thought, and the referee eventually is going to book Kim Little for the second challenge on Lindsay Heaps.
Well, she had to make that there, didn't she? Little couldn't keep hold of the ball, it was bobbling around her. Had to make the challenge because I think it was Diani who was on her way. Heaps had her head up to play the ball into Diani. The counter was well and truly on, so Little there just taken one for the team and the yellow card.
And such a potent threat on the break, Lyon, with the pace and the technical ability that they have. Catley's brave challenge on Dumornay initially judged to have got to the ball. Dumornay has gone down and stayed down as a result. Heaps is on her feet, having been hacked down by Little, and well, this would be one of the few disappointments of the afternoon so far for Lyon if they were to lose Melky Dumornay due to injury.
Yeah, I mean, she's been a pleasure to watch. Unbelievable talent. She's been at the heart of everything. Unplayable at times. I think Arsenal will be pleased if she does go off. Just watching the challenge back, I think Catley had to go into that challenge with everything she's got. It was a loose pass initially, kind of stitched up by her teammate. She had to go in for it, and Imani, it was a big challenge.
But it does feel like Arsenal have arrived in the game now, in the tie. Now they are still 1-0 down. Barcelona against Chelsea in the other semi-final first leg tomorrow evening on TalkSport 2. West Ham 0, Manchester United 0, latest score in the WSL, that was underway at midday. Brighton 0, Liverpool 2. And in the Scottish Cup, Hearts 1, Aberdeen 1 is the latest score. Brighton have just got a goal back against Liverpool in that important game in the race for 5th spot in the WSL. So Brighton 1, Liverpool 2. We'll keep you up to date. Game Day Live with Adrian Durham takes you around the grounds from TalkSport. They're already underway there. And here on TalkSport 2 at 3, Brentford against Brighton. Lots of live football to come on Easter Monday. Tottenham against Forest, Leeds, Stoke, Burnley, Sheffield United, Newport, Walsall. All live across the network. Just download our free app. Easy to download, and you can swipe between both stations. Free kick to Lyon after the foul on Heaps. A long delay as Dumornay comes off. She will come back on, but Lyon temporarily down to 10 players. This is probably 35 yards out. Heaps is standing over it though, like she's going to go for goal. It's pretty central. Heaps and Basher, the two over the ball. Heaps strikes it right-footed over the wall and gathered by Zinsberger.
Yeah, comfortable save there from Zinsberger, and she plays it on the front foot straight away. Samavaka was alert to it. Yeah, Lindsay Hearn, I think they maybe sensed the nervousness of Zinsberger, so of course you're going to go for it there from that range.
And the referee straight away looks towards Joe Montemurro, who was going mad on the near side touchline, and gets Dumornay back onto the field. Very bright sunshine at the Emirates today. 40,000 strong crowd. Arsenal 0, Lyon 1 in the first leg. The semi-final. Arsenal, who worked so hard to get here. Caldente wriggles away from Diani and plays the ball wide to Mead out on the right-hand side. Mead delivers with a cross, and the header is just over the top. A brilliant ball in from the right-hand side, and flying to get her head onto it. Beth Mead lurking inside the penalty area to meet Mornham's delivery. And Arsenal maybe should have hit the target again. Maybe they should be level.
They should be. They've certainly had their chances, but what a ball that was out from out wide on the right-hand side. Romanum, and Mead was in acres of space. She got down low. She was trying to just guide the ball into the top corner and always was never really under it, and it's gone over. But another fantastic chance, and that started from Caldente. Excellent footwork, just leaving two of the Lyon midfielders for dusk. real skillful, playing it out wide to Mardam. So much better from Arsenal.
Well, they have had chances, Arsenal, as we tick towards the hour mark. Easily the best spell of the game that they've had so far. Little on halfway, blocked off by Egarola, who wins it back for Lyon. Egarola steers the ball down the far side, the left-hand channel, but Leah Williamson's quickly across in front of Chawinga to send it back to goalkeeper Zinsberger, all in bright yellow. Well, at half-time, you wouldn't have been that shocked if Arsenal had made changes, but at this stage in the game, you'd imagine Renee Slagers will probably keep it as it is, at least for the next 5-10 minutes or so. Yeah,
they've definitely been playing the best football so far this afternoon since coming out from that half-time break. You can see the confidence growing on the ball, starting to cause real problems for this Lyon team.
It is only the first leg, and there will still be another 90 minutes to come in Lyon next Sunday, but Arsenal are desperate for something to take to France, something, ideally a lead. Maybe even with half an hour to go, that might be too difficult for them. Diani on the halfway line. Lyon lead it by a goal to nil. Heaps in the centre circle with a sweeping ball out to the right, overhit, and she throws one arm up in frustration. Knew it was a poor ball towards Dumornay, and Arsenal have a throw. They're having much more possession, much more territory, and now they're starting to really create chances.
Yeah, they are, and I've just seen Renee Slagers speaking to Blackstenius. She could be entering the field soon.
Diani dribbling down the right into the penalty area for Lyon. The angle is tight, so she'll have to cut it back across. Header away by Fox in a crucial position because Chawinga was there waiting for a tap in at the back post.
Yeah, Diani, her end product is excellent. It looks like she's run out of space on the pitch a number of times now. She drives to that goal line and she's always getting her cross off, and the quality of the cross is excellent.
Here is McCabe for Arsenal, 10 yards shy of the halfway line. We have had an hour on Talk Sport 2. Brentford against Brighton to come. Arsenal 0, Lyon 1. Caitlin Ford out in the left wing position for Arsenal, driving into the penalty area onto the right foot, lays it back to Caldente. Caldente thinks about a cross to the back post where Mead is waiting with the header. Monum got to it at the back post, but it must have been just a glancing touch and it's wide. I think the flag has gone up anyway, so I'm not sure it would have counted, as Mornham came in at the back post and somehow failed to make meaningful contact. Double Arsenal change on the way.
Come on, and all it needed was anything, a touch. It's almost like she shut her eyes at the wrong moment and completely fluffed her lines. But much better again, and Caldente at the heart of it. Again, she's growing.
Well, that is Mornham's last moments in the game. Stina Blackstenius, who scored in the week against Leicester in the league, is on, and Beth Mead, who's missed one big opportunity, going off as well. And it's England's Chloe Kelly. A lot of Arsenal fans already with the Kelly 18 replica shirts, and on she goes, Arsenal's number 18, as Lyon actually took that goal kick without Kelly on the field, and that's why Arsenal are a bit frustrated with the fourth official. Play continues, but they have gone arguably even more attacking in this situation now. It's almost a 4-2-4 for the last 27.5 minutes, and the goalkeeper's down in, she's given it away. Blackstenius down the middle, Russo can't get there. It's come back to Endler, who got so lucky.
Wow, a real let off there for Endler. I think Blackstenius was caught in two minds whether to take the shot or play Russo in. She opted to play Russo in, but the quality of pass wasn't there. But now it looks like Lyon who are the rattled team.
They are. Arsenal winning the ball back on the halfway line, and Ford tears forward down the inside left. Carpenter chasing her. Ford gets away, nutmegs Carpenter, blocked off by Diani, then catches Diani. That'll be a free kick. Right, 3 o'clock Premier League commentary on Talk Sport 2. It's Brentford against Brighton, and Ian Danter's got the team news.
Two changes for either manager. Thomas Frank brings in Michael Coyote for a start at right back in place of Christopher Ayer. Yarmolyuk in midfield in place of Janelt. Those are the two changes for Brentford. For Brighton, in come Van Hecker at the back, allowing Baleba to push back into midfield, and Vipa replaces Adingra. Live on TalkSport 2, straight after you, Joe, it's Brentford against Brighton.
Thanks, Dance. Looking forward to that. Ian Danter and Perry Groves, your commentary team. And Game Day Live with Adrian Durham has all the goals as they go in over on TalkSport, but Dance will keep you up to date as well. So it's all happening across the TalkSport network at this crucial point in the season, and it really feels now like there's a proper liveliness to this semi-final first leg. Arsenal may be a bit fearful in the first half, but in the second half they've come back into it. Though as I say that, Lyon break down the right-hand side. Lyon 1-0 up, and Heaps is blocked off by Katie McCabe. Arsenal on the front foot, it feels like, Jenna Scalacci.
Yeah, it does. Good defending there from Kate McCabe. It would have been easy there just to lunge in. She doesn't. Just that calm. Another example that they do seem calm now. They do feel confident in what they're doing, and yeah, they're definitely looking like the better team out here now.
And of course, it means not a great deal, even with a second leg to come, if Arsenal don't find themselves a goal.
No, they have to. They've got to make something of this. They've created those chances now, had a number of opportunities to get the equaliser. And as you say, the atmosphere has just lifted now, and that's partly to do with the performance, and obviously Chloe Kelly's entered the pitch.
Williamson has knocked the ball wide to the right towards Chloe Kelly, but she can't keep it in play. It's finished West Ham 0, Manchester United 0 in the WSL. Another good point for West Ham, who are really improving in this second half of the season under Rianne Skinner, and for Manchester United, they missed the chance to go level on points with Arsenal.
Yeah, big result there for West Ham again. Been really impressed with what Rianne Skinner's building there, the players that she's got, the squad that she's been building, and they've been really making their mark at this second half of the season.
Against some of the top clubs as well. It is 1-0 to Lyon. Here come Arsenal, though, with McCabe, left of centre, angled ball wide down the near side touchline. Ford gets to it in front of Carpenter, who's backing off in front of the North Bank. Ford wins a corner for Arsenal. You really do feel 20 minutes into the second half like a goal could be coming for Arsenal here.
Yeah, it feels like it's coming. Caitlin Ford is having a lot of joy down this left-hand side against Ellie Carpenter. Caitlin Ford just jeering the crowd, livening them up. Now Chloe Kelly on set-piece duties. They need to be better, and we all know she's got the delivery, the quality.
It'll be right-footed and in-swinging. Williamson and Catley are both forward for Arsenal in a congested penalty area, whipped in by Kelly. Williamson went for it, couldn't get there. Goalkeeper flapped at it and missed her punch completely, and then it hit the defender at the back post before Williamson could reach it. Arsenal actually want handball.
Yeah, that's the delivery we're talking about. That's what's needed. Quality into the box. Of course, it's chaos, mayhem. Endler's come for it. I think Arsenal were calling for a handball from Diani.
There's going to be a change coming up for Lyon here, as Danielle van der Donk does leave the field against her old team, and Amel Majri is her replacement. Lyon's number 7. Van der Donk gets applause from the Lyon dugouts and the smatching of Lyon supporters, and actually from almost nobody else.
She's done well, Van der Donk. Really made her mark in that midfield area. Very creative players, putting a good shift.
6 years she spent at Arsenal, a lot of it under Joe Montemuro, and a high five and a handshake with the former Arsenal head coach, who is looking like he's going to make a winning second return to North London. Kelly down the right for Arsenal, but the flag is up on that far side of the field for a foul on Basher, and that'll be a free kick to Lyon in their left back position. We're into the final quarter of the first leg of the semi-final, if that makes any sense. 22.5 minutes to go, plus added time. How crucial is it, Jenna, that Arsenal do get something in terms of a goal to take back to Lyon?
Yeah, they've got to get something out of here at home, with the atmosphere, the fans here. Feel like this, they're getting closer. You can feel it coming. You can feel in that final third now they're causing a lot of problems. Caitlin Ford down this left-hand side. Chloe Kelly against Backer. I feel like Chloe Kelly will have the better of her. And then it's just that final product, isn't it? Because they've created the chances. Now it's time to start putting them away. Find that clinical edge that we spoke about.
It is pretty much a 4-2-4, isn't it, for Arsenal now?
Yeah.
Blackstenius and Russo, the two up the middle, and two wingers playing high up the pitch in Kelly and Ford. Majri's first touch for Lyon. She's shrugged aside by Little in the middle of midfield. A much more dominant display from Kim Little in this second half. Arsenal go back to Williamson, who's under pressure. The referee had spotted a foul earlier on, and it's a free kick to Arsenal in their right back spot. Emily Fox is going to carry the ball forward. There's going to be a word from Basher for Basher from the referee, but nothing more than that. And the Arsenal fans' frustration starting to grow, and they're starting to get drawn into the game, which is probably good for Arsenal, as the atmosphere can pick up in the next 22 minutes plus added time that remains. Full commentary of Brentford against Brighton in the Premier League to come on TalkSport 2 at 3 o'clock. So stay with us. We'll go from North to West London and the Women's Champions League to the Premier League. Arsenal coming forward down the left with Katie McCabe. Good sliding challenge by Lindsay Heaps.
Yeah, strong challenge there from Heaps. Good play from Ford. Just a little layoff with the outside of her boot into the path of McCabe. Heaps was alert to it. A strong sliding challenge.
McCabe will take the throw in the sunshine, down the left to Ford by the corner flag. Carpenter at her back. She's been tracking forward every step of the way, and the decision in the end, after the 50-50, I mean, I thought we are quite far away from the incident. I initially thought corner, but goal kick signalled.
I agree with you there, Joe. I think Caitlin Ford again got the better of Ellie Carpenter.
What have Arsenal got on the bench in reserve to continue to try and change the game? Rosa Kafaji possibly, but she has hardly been a regular since joining Arsenal. Kyra Cooney-Cross and Leah Velti are more defensive performers, of course. Victoria Palova among the subs. Foul on McCabe. Caught sandwiched between the black shirts of Diani and Heaps. And a free kick to Arsenal midway inside Lyon territory. 20 minutes to go now. Arsenal looking for some forward momentum. It's quite stop-start the game, isn't it, Jenna, at the moment?
It is. I think Lyon are managing the pressure well. They're putting those fouls in. They're frustrating Arsenal when they've got on the ball and just breaking up the game, because they are under the pressure now.
Well, this free kick will be taken by McCabe. 2 arms up into the air in front of the Arsenal technical area. Here she goes left-footed to hoist that high into the area. Out comes Endler, and she takes it very well, the goalkeeper, high above her head. And a quick release down the middle. Chasing is Chawinga, and back is Fox with a back pass to Zinsberger that reaches the goalkeeper. And the clearance is okay. Finds Caldente, and Arsenal dealt with that well, and they can come forward again. Forward down the right by Williamson, well cut out by Basher.
Yeah, there's a reason why this Arsenal team leave Fox back when they are transitioning, because Chawinga there, you see the pace, but Fox matched her pace for pace there, and Zinsberger stepped up.
Zinsberger's had nothing to do in the second half. But in two-legged semi-final ties, you can't afford to play one half of a leg against an opposition like this.
Absolutely, and we said Arsenal needed to start fast, didn't they? And they couldn't get out of the blocks in that first half, mainly to do credit to Lyon. They were quality all over the pitch, totally dominated that first half.
Ford and Kelly seem to have switched wings now for Arsenal, who are still 1-0 down. 18.5 to go. Kelly in the inside left position, onto the right foot. Infield pass to a central area, no real way through for Blackstenius here. She goes square instead to the number 8 Caldente, and now Kelly back towards Russo, deflected away. Williamson picks up on the loose ball for Arsenal, who can come forward again. You're listening to TalkSport 2, and it's Arsenal who are 1-0 down in the first leg. Catley looks up, plays it on to Caldente, back to Catley again, and it's a little bit sideways and backwards for Arsenal at the moment in the game.
Yeah, I think they just need to move it a bit quicker in those moments. Try and shift this Lyon team. They look a bit compacted, moving it side to side.
Fox has found Ford out on the right, but she's well marshalled by Basher. And Basher's done an excellent defensive job in that left-back area so far for Lyon, but she has given it away to Ford, who crosses from the corner flag. It's taken a deflection, headed away by Sombat. And now Lyon thump it long, which is really the main tactic in the second half for them, towards Chawinga. Arsenal win it back and come forward again.
But that sometimes is the winning combination for this Lyon team. They can afford to play direct, just thump it, get rid of the pressure, because you've got players like Chawinga who is staying up top. She can hold it up, or she's got the pace to hurt defenders.
Arsenal dominating the ball. Caldente with a right wing cross. It's come off Sombat, who hacks it away on the half volley. Drops down to the left hand side. Dumornay loses possession this time. Lyon cannot get out of their own half. Fox on the Arsenal right with plenty of red and white shirts to aim at in the middle. Cross doesn't immediately come. Russo, Kelly and Blackstenius are all lurking in there. Caitlin Ford dribbles into the box. Reverse ball towards Blackstenius, took a touch. It's another Arsenal corner, number 9, as they seek an equaliser.
Yeah, that was a really, really important touch. I think it was Blackstenius who had made the run trying to thread it through the defenders. Such an important touch there. The crowd are now right up for it, aren't they? Another corner.
Nearly, but just not quite for Arsenal so far. Still time for an equaliser, plenty of time here on TalkSport 2. Arsenal corner is going to be taken by Katie McCabe, whipped into the 6-yard box, and the header is wide at the near post. Goalkeeper came out to try and punch it clear. It was fizzed in really dangerously by Katie McCabe into a very crowded area. It looked like Blackstenius got the touch, and even though Williamson flung herself at it, I don't think she made contact. It's a goal kick to Lyon, an Arsenal miss. Another good aerial opportunity.
God, it was a glancing header, wasn't it? Endler had come, Endler was beaten. Actually, yeah, it's way off target in the end, but you sense they're getting closer. Had 9 corners now. They've got to capitalise on these at some point.
Blackstenius had her back to goal. It was a difficult header. As if to illustrate the challenge for Arsenal, a former Ballon d'Or winner, Ada Hegerberg, is going to come on shortly. Lyon slowing the game down, the Arsenal fans frustrated. Quarter of an hour to go. Arsenal 0, Lyon 1. Brighton 1, Liverpool 2 in the Women's Champions League. What's the referee going to do here? She's coming across to the near side touchline, and there's a potential penalty check taking place here. VAR has called the referee over to the pitch side monitor, and so it must be for something that happened as part of that incident, the header wide by Blackstenius. I wonder whether there was a handball or a foul perhaps. The referee has gone across to check the pitch side monitor ahead of a potential Arsenal penalty.
Well, you saw Williamson holding her head. I wonder if it had anything to do with that. Just waiting for the image now.
Well, it's Blackstenius jumping, so too Williamson. Was there any sort of foul? The referee is given a penalty. Arsenal have a spot kick. What a crucial moment in this tie. It's a foul by the goalkeeper Endler. She's been yellow carded, and the referee had a pretty decisive and quick check of the pitch side monitor, and Arsenal have the chance to draw level. Endler committing the foul, the goalkeeper. It must have been the punch that didn't connect with the ball, connected with the head of Williamson, and Arsenal have got a spot kick, would you believe it?
Well, she came for it, didn't she? Over the players, came for the punch, completely missed the ball and has gone through Leah Williamson. The ref didn't need no time at all there on viewing.
Is it going to be Chloe Kelly? She's got the ball in her hands. What a moment this could be for Arsenal. A pressure penalty, Jenna.
A huge pressure penalty. But Chloe Kelly has been there many, many times, hasn't she? A world-class player. She's cool as ice. If any player can do it, it's Chloe Kelly. Can see her there just having words with the Lyon players. She's handed it to the Caldente. The experience of Caldente.
The former Barcelona player with a great career in the Champions League. Chance to draw Arsenal level. In the sunshine from the spot. This is a crucial moment in the semi-final. Endler, who gave the penalty away, in goal. The Arsenal fans fall almost silent. Caldente in front of a packed North Bank. This to draw Arsenal level in the first leg. Here goes Caldente, slow run up, right-footed, scores! The goalkeeper went the wrong way. Caldente tucked it into the left-hand corner, and there is life yet in the semi-final. Arsenal 1, Lyon 1.
Oh, it was the perfect penalty. Cool as you like. Slide into the bottom corner. Endless guessed the wrong way. Such a good penalty in a huge, huge moment. Caldente, the experience of Caldente, that's why they've signed her for moments like this. Fantastic penalty, and Arsenal are back in.
And now Lyon don't feel so invincible after all. They have conceded for the first time away from home in Europe this season, and Mariona Caldente's penalty was perfect.
It was perfect. Into the right-hand side, bottom low. She kept it low. It's almost hit the corner of the net. It's the perfect penalty. sends the keeper the wrong way. What a moment.
Arsenal level with 11.5 minutes to go on TalkSport 2 in the first leg. 1-1 against Lyon. Ford is fouled on halfway. And can Arsenal go on and win the first leg now? The change that Lyon made right after conceding the penalty. Hegerberg for Chawinga. And Lyon have really wilted in this second half. They've really faded as a force, and Arsenal have shown exactly why their home form has been so good in this competition. Early free kick towards Blackstenius. Goalkeeper committed. Blackstenius in the area, back to goal, forced to go away from goal. Finds Ford into the area. Oh, is she fouled? Right on the edge of the box. The referee says no. Cleared away. That was very close to the left edge of the penalty area, and it looked like a foul to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Ford did really well. She just poked it through the defender, and foul for me as well, Joe. Right on the edge, that was.
TalkSport 2 will bring you Barcelona against Chelsea in the other semi-final first leg tomorrow. This one is on a knife edge. Arsenal 1, Lyon 1 in the first leg. Rousseau was not fouled, it would seem, by Somba. Referees let a lot go today. And Dumornay carries it over halfway line down the inside left for Lyon, who barely threatened the goal in the second half. Dumornay's poked it wide though to Basher. Two in the middle to aim at Basher's cross, and headed away by Williamson. Now Arsenal can counter. There are gaps at the back for them to exploit. Caldente, the scorer, plays a 1-2 with Rousseau. Prods it down the right-hand side. Chloe Kelly's after it. Blackstenius in the middle. Chloe Kelly taking on the defender. Right corner of the area, shoots, and it flies over the top of the crossbar. 10 minutes to go. It's going to be a brilliant last 10 minutes. 1-1.
God, it's Arsenal now who look deadly on that counter-attack, isn't it? Chloe Kelly, lots of time out wide, just standing back her up, and then she goes for the shot. She gets the power, but was leaning back, and it just goes over the bar out on the right-hand side. But Arsenal by far looking the stronger team here.
Well, this is the Arsenal we saw in the second half of the quarter-final second leg against Real Madrid. This is the Arsenal who believe they can win the Women's Champions League for the second time. 40,045 here to see it. Another massive Emirates Stadium crowd, and actually not far off double the crowd that was here for that Real Madrid comeback. So 1-1, and Victoria Pelova getting stripped and ready to go in the red and white of Arsenal. Here come Lyon though, Dumornay racing through the middle. Dumornay is clear, and she scored! Lyon are back in front. A fantastic run and finish from Milky Dumornay. The danger player has done it, and out of nothing, Lyon lead again. It's Arsenal 1, Lyon 2.
Damani's hardly had a sniff this second half, and they're just highlights just what a player she is. Receives the ball into her path, runs at the heart of the defence. I thought Fox was going to get there. She was tracking every step. She's dived in to get the block, and it was a powerful strike. Again, you question whether Zinsberger could have maybe done better. I'll need to see it again, but it was very close range. But prolific, ruthless from Damani, who hasn't really had much say in this second half. Arsenal have kept her quiet. It was nice, quick play. Damani just burst through the two players. It's hard to say as Chawanga sets her on her way. She bursts through, and Emily Fox that gets the block in. For me, you'd want Zinsberger just to stand up. I think it actually takes the deflection off of Emily Fox's foot that maybe sends Zinsberger down early.
So it is 2-1 to Lyon after all the Arsenal pressure in the second half, with just 7.5 minutes left. And that is a fifth goal in 6 Champions League appearances for Dumornay.
I think that there is an example of just how clinical Damani is. I think she only had one chance in that second half, and she's put it away when her team needed it the most.
A couple of interesting changes for Arsenal here, actually. Leah Velti and Victoria Pelova on, and Ford and Rousseau go off. Now, what do you make of those changes, Jenna?
Surprise Ford's gone off. I think she's been one of Arsenal's best players and looked like she was growing into this half every time, making things happen, getting the better of Ellie Carpenter. I think Leah Warty maybe just popped in that midfield area just to bring a bit of calm back into the squad. And Pelova, we all know what she can do, creative player. that she is coming back to full fitness. But yeah, interesting.
2-1 Lyon lead, and it's Dumournet again out on the left-hand side, tormenting Fox with that electric pace that she showed for the goal. Heaps works it out left to Basher. You don't necessarily feel like Lyon deserve it over the course of the second half, but they have shown what a clinical outfit they can be, and they've taken command of the semi-final again.
They absolutely have, against the run of play, against all the momentum. Those moments, those big moments, and Dumournet, the young player, has stepped up.
6 minutes to go in the first leg, plus added time. And of course, once we're done on TalkSport 2 here, we'll be across to Brentford for their game against Brighton. Full commentary with us. Game Day Live with Adrian Durham takes you around the grounds. Live football tomorrow on the network. Barcelona against Chelsea in the other Women's Champions League semi-final. And 4 commentaries on TalkSport and TalkSport 2 over Easter Monday. Oh, Renee Slagers watches on, arms folded, on the edge of a technical area. Her young managerial career as it is. And she will have the game of her life so far next Sunday, and that would have been the case whatever the score, but Arsenal look like they're going to go into it in a deficit. 2-1 down. Little wins the ball back for Arsenal, and can they find an equaliser with 5 minutes and added time to go?
Yeah, they've got to. They've played so well this second half. But I think that transition from Lyon in the midfield, it was just 1-2 touch play, passing to Dumournet, deadly, and that's the threat. That's the threat that Arsenal would have known was coming. But they've had everything. They've had all the momentum this second half in that final third. But it only takes one moment, and that was the danger all along. That transition, the quickness, how quickly they can turn over a team.
Arsenal will have, as Lyon win a free kick for a foul on Hegerberg, over a week's rest to prepare for next week's second leg. Lyon will have a game before it away at Nantes, so they will be in action again, and slightly less time to rest and prepare. But it's a gutting moment really for Arsenal and their supporters, because having dominated the second half and found themselves an equaliser, it looked as though they would push on and win the first leg, but Lyon have punished them with that deadly interchange of passes and Dumournet's equally killer finish.
Yeah, and I think it's easy to get carried away when you get that, when they got level.
Oh, and Velti makes a risky challenge in the area on Madri, just got to the ball. Got some of her opponents as well, but enough on the ball to get it away and not to concede a spot kick. Arsenal go back to Williamson inside her own penalty area, and now Fox being forced back to her own goal line. Williamson slides in to hack it clear. It's dropped down to Basher, whose touch is poor. Arsenal throw midway inside their own half, but they've not really got a lot of momentum at the moment.
No,
Arsenal 1, Lyon 2.
I don't think Williamson wanted that ball back at all. I think it was Chawanga breathing down Fox's neck, so her only option was to play back.
Catley carries it forward and angles the ball left to Caldente. Square pass now to Velti, who miscontrols in a key area. It's won back by Hegerberg for Lyon, and now Diani can't quite stretch to keep it in play. That was a slightly tired touch from the player who scored the opening goal. Feels a long time ago in the first half. Caldente equalising for Arsenal from the penalty spot, but Dumournet quite quickly putting Lyon back into the lead again. And so 2-1, they have the advantage. Only 4 minutes between Arsenal's equaliser and the goal that has Lyon in front in the semi-final. Joe Montemuro, the former Arsenal head coach, won't take anything for granted going into the second leg, but does it feel like the first leg is petering out a bit now?
It does. I think the atmosphere's gone flat again. I think that the fans are shell-shocked. The players are still giving everything they've got out there, but you feel Arsenal had their chances, didn't they? When they had the momentum, that's when you've got to take it. The momentum seems to have stopped now, and they've still got time. They only need one chance.
Fox racing down the right-hand side. And 3 in red and white in the middle to aim at, but look at Dumournet tracking back towards the corner flag to win it back. The player who looks like she scored this first leg winner.
Yeah, I mean, she's been unbelievable. Quiet this second half, but stepped up when the team needed her the most. She's been the difference. Oh,
and here they come again, looking dangerous now on the left-hand side with Hegerberg. Tries to find Basher on the overlap. There was a double deflection on the challenge from Williamson. The throw goes Lyon's way. 90 seconds plus added time left. Some of the Arsenal fans, 1 or 2, heading for the exits now. Arsenal 1, Lyon 2 And I guess when does game management come into it for Renee Slagers, Jenna, in the context of, well, at least with 2-1 down, there might be a way back. If they concede a third, that really could be fatal. That really could be it.
Yeah, I guess that instinct will kick in around about now to be disciplined. Not risk everything here, because there's still another 90 minutes to go. Yes, it's a huge challenge with it being away, but yeah, they've got to stay in this tie.
And here is Catley, midway inside her own half of the field. Catley gets the ball back to Zinsberger. And now Velti in the left-back area into the last minute of normal time, and no great urgency from Arsenal to get the ball forward here, and no great noise in the crowd. Lyon Reading a defensive change very shortly. Sophie Svaba, who is usually a full-back, is going to come on, and they could well switch to a back five for whatever allotted added time is to come. There might be a fair bit of added time. We'll see in about 30 seconds. Arsenal 1, Lyon 2.
I think Lyon also look to be managing the game. Close up shop.
Long ball by Williamson down the middle. Catley's after it, header away by Gilles. You can hear some of the Lyon fans. There are very few of them, but they are chanting away in one corner of the ground as Carpenter hacks the ball clear for Lyon up to halfway. Diani chests that down impressively. They've got such good forward options, Lyon, and Majri raiding down the right-hand side with the defender backing off. Majri pulls it back to Diani, who continue to run. It's come off Zinsberger. Majri misses the follow-up, and McCabe just gets there in front of Heaps to clear. It's come out to Basher. Basher, long way out as we go into 5 minutes of added time. Strange goalkeeping by Zinsberger. She sort of nudged the ball away with her knees. Stays just 2-1 to Lyon.
Yeah, Diani then again, it's almost like she just has that change of pace that no one can keep up with. You think she's run out of pitch, and again she's got the cross in. Zinsberger makes the save, but again parries it. Comes off the knee into the path of the number 7 for Lyon, who can't quite make the connection.
Vicky Béchot is going to come on for Lyon shortly as well. It's Lyon certainly finishing the game the stronger. 2-1 into the lead, nearly a minute through 5 added. Palova has poked the ball backwards, and Hegerberger's won it off a tiring Kim Little. Diani through the middle towards Dumornay. What incredible pace she's got. Zinsberger got there first, diving at her feet.
Yeah, incredible turn of pace for Dumornay. I think that time Fox did excellent, just using her body. She was trying to match up, trying to keep up with her. She couldn't, so just used her body to usher off the ball. Allow Zinsberger to come and claim for it.
Joe Montemuro, the former Arsenal head coach, has nearly led his Lyon side to a first leg semi-final victory here. Header away by Gilles. 90 seconds through the 5 added. Brentford against Brighton to come on TalkSport 2. That's a 3 o'clock kick-off. The build-up will begin as soon as we're done here. And Lyon have won a free kick just shy of the halfway line. And I think they're going to use the opportunity now, with Damaris Egarola having gone to ground, to make the latter 2 changes. Svaba and Béchot ready to come on. And Arsenal look as though they are done as far as the first leg is concerned, Jenna Scalacci.
Yeah, they do. They look frustrated out there. They had their moments to turn this tie around. They definitely created it. They just couldn't capitalise when they had the momentum, and it's always the danger when you're playing against a team like Lyon that you're going to get punished on the counter-attack when you are committing so many bodies forward.
Off goes Diani, and likewise Basher, so those are actually straight swaps. I don't think there'll be any change to, and I think they're going to use the opportunity now with Damaris Egarola. Lyon sets up here, Béchot and Svaba for Diani and Basher. And Béchot. Joe Montemuro has gone round and he's not shaken the hand of his coaching staff. He knows the game's not over yet, but he's shaken the hand of the other subs who I think who aren't going to get on. They are done as far as the first leg is concerned. Even with 2.5 minutes of added time to go, there seems to be no way back for Arsenal, not in the first leg anyway. The second leg to come next Sunday. But is it going to be semi-final heartbreak for Arsenal again, just like it was in the 22-23 season when they lost on aggregate to Wolfsburg?
It looks that way, doesn't it, Joe? I think
off goes Diani.
They're still alive in the competition.
Basher, so those are
this will be a tough one to take for them.
Vicky Béchot has set up Majri, and Lyon maybe not finished yet. Good work by McCabe in that one-on-one. Caldente rather against Majri. The ball has been brought down by Carpenter, and Lyon have done a superb job of keeping the ball in added time so far. Lifted by the goal. Just over 90 seconds of added time to go, plus maybe a little more because the brief stoppage after Egarola went down. Majri not makes Caldente with a fine touch, and Besho back to Heaps, and Lyon are keeping the ball with expert quality at the moment now. Arsenal effectively chasing shadows, and you can see the strength in depth that Lyon have got, and the level of step up that Arsenal have faced from the quarter-final against Real Madrid to the semi-finals against the team who've been there and done it 8 times in the Champions League before.
Yeah, they won't come up against too many teams that are better than this Lyon team. The quality that they've got, the mixture of experience that they're able just to bring onto the pitch, and youth, which we've seen has been deadly.
Lifted by the goal.
Especially
Just over
Damani.
90 seconds of added time to go. Hegerberg down by the dead ball line for Lyon. She's held it up in front of Leah Williamson. It doesn't seem like there'll be any sort of last-ditch opportunity for an equaliser in the first leg for Arsenal. 2-1 down and only 45 seconds of added time to go. If anything, Lyon look like they could add to their lead. Dumornay finds Majri left edge of the penalty area. They're keeping the ball by the corner flag. It's way away from the Lyon goal, just where Lyon would want it. And Arsenal can barely get a foot on the ball now as Lyon win a throw, and that is probably going to just the Champions League before. That's just about that.
Up against too many teams that are better than this Lyon team. In no hurry at all. Got a mixture of experience that they're able just to bring onto the pitch, getting this job done for the first round advantage to them, going home on a home soil.
Hegerberg down by the dead ball line. 5 minutes of added time. The offside flag is up. It'll be a free kick to Arsenal, but they barely have any time, if any, to get the ball forward. 2-1 down. First leg for Arsenal, and 2-1 down. The Emirates is virtually silent, but for the smashing of about 50 Lyon fans who are waving scarves above their heads in the away section. Into added time on added time. Arsenal give the ball away. Bisho wins it back for Lyon, and here she is on the halfway line, blocked off by Leah Belty, but Arsenal just cannot get hold of the ball. And we have had the extra 30 seconds that you thought might have been coming.
In no hurry at all.
At the 5 added. Lyon are suddenly very comfortable now.
So close to
Endler with a slightly risky ball, the goalkeeper. Heaps has knocked it wide to Svada. Touches it forward down the left-hand side, and Williamson nearly gets in a muddle with Dumornay in close attention. Still we play on.
Yeah, Williamson, you can see the panic there. Damani bringing down the neck, just had to get rid of it.
Kim Little goes long towards Blackstenius. Can she beat Endler to it? Endler heads that away, the goalkeeper. Some of the Arsenal fans got a little excited there. But the first leg ends with Arsenal facing a very steep challenge if they are to reach the Women's Champions League final. 2-1 down after leg 1 in North London. Arsenal's first home defeat of their Champions League campaign. A rare defeat under Renee Slagers. And Lyon have shown the 8 times winners exactly why they are Champions League royalty this afternoon. They took the lead in the first half through Kadidiatu Diani and created numerous chances. Arsenal were lucky that they were only 1-0 down at the break, but it was Arsenal's second half, in large part at least. Numerous chances for them. Russo with an effort cleared off the line. Mead heading over from an excellent position. Eventually it took a Mariona Caldente penalty to draw Arsenal level on the day, steering it beyond the goalkeeper who had fouled Leah Williamson. But just 4 minutes later, Lyon broke through the middle. Melky Dumornay smashed home the second and winning goal in the first leg, and Arsenal now have it all to do if they are to keep alive their hopes of winning a first Champions League for 18 years. It finishes here at the end of the first leg, and yes, it is only half-time in the tie. Arsenal 1, Lyon 2.
Thank you very much, Joe. It is only half-time, Jenna, but how disappointed are Arsenal going to be, having got themselves back into the game with that penalty, been dominant in the majority of that second half, that they just couldn't get another goal and then let Lyon dominate the way Lyon can.
Yeah, they'll be really frustrated. I think they survived that first half. They went in at 1-0 and looked like a different team coming out in that second half. The momentum shifted, they created chances, they looked like they were going to go on and score more goals, and they didn't, and they were punished ultimately, and that's what we spoke about earlier on in the show. That danger they
It is only
posed, the
half-time in
quick
the tie.
counter-attacking,
Arsenal
and the deadly
Lyon 2.
Dumani was the difference in the end. So yeah, they'll be frustrated,
Jenna,
but they're still alive. It's going to be a difficult. They've given themselves a mountain to climb, but they've got positives to take with them.
Yeah, they do have positives to take, that's for sure, but we know how clinical Lyon are, particularly at home. They're the only unbeaten side left in this competition as well. It's going to be a really tough task in France next Sunday.
Yeah, a huge challenge for them against the quality Lyon side. Been so impressed with them. Their forward players are deadly, and I think, yeah, it's going to be a huge challenge, but if they can bring that kind of form that we saw in the second half for the whole 90 minutes, they stand a good chance.
That front line of Lyon, though, are frightening. Two really good goals from them. I think, though, it's fair to say the Arsenal back line and possibly the Arsenal fans as well will be very welcomed if Daphne Van Donselaar can be fit next weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I say, especially against the calibre of attacking players.
Particularly at home,
I felt look nervous out there. Sometimes chaotic, and you know,
really tough task
in a big matches, you need that calm head and organisation, confidence from your back line. So yeah, I guess Arsenal will be hoping for Van Donselaar to come back in.
They certainly will. A mountain to climb, as you said, full time there, Jenna. But they're still in this tie. Arsenal, the only English side ever to win the Champions League, trailing at the half-time point in this semi-final, with it all to do against Lyon next week. Thank you for your commentary, Jenna. Jenna and Joe will be back with you, by the way, tomorrow. That's Sunday for the second Women's Champions League semi-finalist. Chelsea travel to holders Barcelona for their first leg. It's a 5 o'clock kickoff and it's live here on TalkSport 2. Let me just round up some of the other full-time scores from the day's action, kicking off around lunchtime. West Ham 0, Manchester United 0 in the WSL. That was a 12 o'clock kickoff. United missing, Manchester United that is, missing the chance to go level on points with second placed Arsenal. Another good point though for West Ham, who could actually end up finishing in the top half of the table, which you'd have never thought at the start of the season. Their form was that poor. Still playing in Crawley, Brighton trail Liverpool by 2-1. Olivia Smith and Leanne Kiernan put Liverpool into a 2-goal lead, but the young Michelle Adjiman had pulled one back in the second half. But we are into the 93rd minute in that game, with Liverpool looking likely to take all 3 points as it stands and move above Brighton into 5th in the WSL. There's a Scottish Cup semi-final going on at Hampden Park as well, and it's going to extra time. 10-man Hearts being held by it's a goal each against Aberdeen. Aberdeen, who took the lead. Craig Gordon credited with the own goal. Hearts equalised through Lawrence Shankland before Michael Steinbender was sent off just before half-time, but Aberdeen have not been able to capitalise on the fact they have one extra player, and that is going to extra time. Tomorrow, Hampden Park is the venue again as St Johnstone face Celtic. Right, we're here at the GTEC Community Stadium ahead of Brentford against Brighton in the Premier League. That's your second live commentary of the day here on TalkSport 2.
TalkSport 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier League and the English Football League.
Game day exclusive on TalkSport 2 with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract on now. Like Aston Villa versus Newcastle. Search now Sport 18 plus, stream via internet, terms apply. A Minecraft movie has arrived in McDonald's Happy Meal. Help your little ones build their own adventure. Explore the overworld and meet exciting new friends. Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal. Until 6th of May from 11am. Includes one pre-selected book or choice. While stocks last, their ordering policy applies. See mcdonalds.co.uk/Happy Meal.
We all fantasise about our perfect home, watching the big game cozied up in the snug. Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the
Premier League and the English Football League.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly.